Good Friday morning. It's 6:30 and we got everything set out here. We're just loading up the tables right now. Got our fans running at maximum capacity, making sure we got good ventilation in here. Everything's clean in the bathrooms, set ready to go. Let's take a little. This is one tough piece of equipment right here. I gotta tell you, this thing has got to be going on 15 years old. Never misses a beat, does its job. Excellent investment. As you can tell, it's been beat on by employees. We had one guy who didn't like to be told, and he would take it out on this piece of equipment. And the old girl keeps on plugging along and really works well for us. The only thing we ever had to do was replace that little controller with the lights at the number on it. That thing had to be replaced. That's it in all those years. So very low maintenance, very good piece of equipment. And we'll bring you in here. Oh, here we go. And we're getting ready for our fish kinilaw, our washing area. So here we got where the dirty sinks go, the rinse, the wash, and rinse again. All right. And good morning, dear.
Morning, dear.
Good morning. And this is where it's all happening in here. Getting everything all ready to go. Alright. Very good ventilation, very good lighting. It's all happening here. Get the supplies ready to go. Got our preparation area. Another chiller we got here. But we're not using it. Kind soon. Oh, everything's getting ready here. Okay. I need to give this another second coat of paint. It's been a year. Usually every year I give her a blast. That's what's going on there today. What happened this morning was our cook was late. Now let's talk about that a little bit. Cooks. You start a business, a restaurant business, and you got a cook. And you have an agreement how things are going to work and the wage, and you tell them, when things start to get busy, we'll look after you. Well, your cook sometimes will get a big head and think it's all because of him that your restaurant is doing good, but he forgets it's a team effort, everybody. And they'll either demand more, or if they're a really good cook, they'll get pirated by another restaurant that's opening, or who's lost their cook. So the only reason I've been able to survive basically 15 years in this racket is because my wife Sherry is the cook. She doesn't have any formal training, but I'd put her up against any chef in this city. And she has gone up against the major chefs in this city in a competition and came out on top. So that's the reason why we've been able to survive this long, because she is the cook, she is the chef. So without that, we would have been closed years ago, because many times we had our cook just don't call in, just don't show up. They get a bug in their bonnet and they don't like being told that this pan of food that you had is no good. You put way too much salt in it, and you were told, and now you're responsible for that pan of food, because that's where everybody's wage comes from. Well, they don't like taking responsibility, so they go somewhere else. But amazingly enough, it's surprising how many people have worked for us and got upset because they were told that they had to be responsible, who came back because we look after people here. We pay them like a human wage and treat them like a human being. And yes, as a human, you have to take responsibility for your actions. So that's what we do here. And it's been pretty successful. Oh, you see this here, it looks pretty rough. Well, I took my pressure washer and blasted off all the old paint, and we'll be giving that another coat, both these pillars. But the problem is, as you can see in the bottom, water's getting in there, the rebar's rusting and expanding and cracking open the concrete. That garbage can is put there for people who come in here with no face shields. It's been a month and a half since it was law in the Philippines that you have to wear a face shield. And we sell so many each day, and that's where we send them over here because they can't come in without it, so they put it together, and that's where their garbage goes. So that's what's going on here this morning. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about cooks and how to survive in this restaurant business. You, as an owner, better be able to cook, or your wife better be able to cook, because you will get left with no cook one day. It happens on a regular basis. I don't know about anywhere else, but my experience here is that in all restaurants, they just won't show up. You know, it's their way of supposedly getting even. I'll teach you a lesson, trying to tell me to be responsible for my actions. How dare you? Well, and it has closed a lot of restaurants. So just think about that if you're ever going to be doing anything like that. Now, if you're got your own little small place, you don't have too much to worry about. If you're the cook, you don't have that problem. But when you're getting up to the size that we are, you know, we need a cook, because I don't want to be loading my wife up, because she's also looking after other parts of the business. So, but she has no problem standing up to the plate and doing it, and she can outdo any cook I've ever seen here. So as always, I give credit to her for the success of this business, along with our staff who work so hard, and we try every so often to give them a little, either provide them with a pizza and a little bit of extra spending money for their pocket, just letting them know that we really do appreciate their efforts, especially now. Anyway, you folks, as always, have consideration for one another. Remember that we got a long road to go in this COVID-19 disastrous tour. It's far from over, as news reports and what's going on in the world scene. And I'm not sure what's going to happen here in the Philippines yet. It's just made its way here. We'll have to wait and see, but if the numbers do increase, I've already let everybody know that we will close the dine-in and just do takeout. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, have a great day. Goodbye.